Namaskara. Hello to everyone. Welcome to Sri Chandana Siri Productions YouTube channel and welcome back to Print Prapancha. Let's continue to explore the print world. In this episode, we will see the working demo of HP LaserJet 1020 Plus black and white laser printer and Epson L130 color ink tank printer. We will compare both. Please watch the previous episode for theoretical knowledge of laser and inkjet printers. Link is provided in the video description. Apart from these two printers, we will also give bonus demo of another printer and information on few more printers. So watch the video till the end. HP 1020 Plus. This is a laser printer. It has a toner cartridge which contains dry toner powder as we discussed. Paper input tray which can hold up to 150 A4 sheets of approximately 70 to 75 GSM thickness. All printers contain a power cable input and a data cable input, which is usually USB. Epson L130. This is an inkjet printer, and that is the printer head inside there. As you can see, if the power is on, the head starts moving. Paper input tray can hold up to 50 sheets. Since this is an ink tank category printer, you can see the visible tanks there clearly showing the ink levels to our eyes. These are wet ink or dye based ink. This is where you refill the ink by opening each of the caps for different colors. A color printer will operate with 4 colors: cyan, magenta, yellow and black or key, popularly known as CYMK. Black is called key color because it is the main mixing color. So any color printout is a combination of these 4 colors. So whenever you buy a color printer, you will have to buy all these 4 color cartridges or refill with 4 colors whichever gets empty. The cost of Epson L130 is around Rs 9,000. We recommend this printer even for a first time user simply because it is easier to maintain, easier to refill and efficient too. Also, you will not need to upgrade to another printer anytime soon. You can easily go with this printer for at least 2-3 years with good print quality and reasonable volume. Color ink bottles cost you around Rs 800 per bottle and black is around Rs 400. I am talking about original ink. Please don't buy compatible inks for inkjet printers, no matter what. It will reduce printer's life by at least 50%. Also, you will not even get 50% of print quality with compatible inks. Please buy these ink bottles in a good stationery shop near to your home or office. There you usually get only genuine products. Don't buy online. They may sell cheaper ink in the name of original for lesser price. Also buy only the required color bottle looking at the ink levels whichever goes below the minimum mark. Black is the one which is going to get consumed sooner. Next yellow, then magenta. Cyan is the last one to get over. In our experience, the ratio of these 4 colors CYMK is 1:2:4:8. If you are printing several black and white prints and occasional color prints, this is the rate at which they get exhausted. So don't buy combo packs and don't stock the ink bottles to save some rupees. Better to buy individual bottles. The ink number for this printer is Epson 664. Buy this printer if you are printing like 10 to 50 pages maximum per day. Company says you can print up to 4,000 black and white print per bottle. They are talking about black text prints actually, but in reality, in our experience, don't think it can print more than 2000 black and white text prints. With images, it will come down drastically. With color inkjet printers, you will always be tempted to print images. If you keep printing images, at least the black color can get over before 500 prints. Remember, black is the key color. It is required even to print color prints. Hence, even in ideal conditions, that is, if you keep the printer in good condition, like free from dust, not drying it up by keeping it idle for a long time, so that you don't run head cleaning cycles often, which will result in ink consumption for wrong reasons. If you take all these precautions, and if you are lucky, you will get a black and white text print at maybe 20 paisa and color print at 60 paisa to 2 rupees 50 paisa, depending on how much text and images are there in your print. This is our rough estimation based on our experience. Besides, you should keep in mind that a regular A4 sheet costs you around 50 paisa today. There is something called duty cycle when it comes to printer, which means how many prints or workload a printer can take in a month. Company claims this printer can take 15,000 prints in a month, that is average 500 prints in a day. But I don't think this printer will run efficiently for longer period if you give such large volume. It is better if you keep it well within 50 pages a day, either color or black and white. Overall, well within 2000 prints in a month. Occasionally, you can give maybe 100 to 200 pages, but that shouldn't be repeated. Then there is no point in sticking on to inkjet printers. Remember, inkjet printers are for starters who print in small volumes and then gradually increase their print volume. Yes, there are other options also in inkjet printers if you want heavy duty, higher speed, etc. But I don't recommend such printers for home or small office users because these higher end inkjet printers are basically for professionals like photo studios, artwork, ID card printing, sublimation printing, etc. These printers have bigger ink tanks, more colors like light black, light magenta, light cyan, etc. to give more color depth. They are commercial requirements, so higher quality, speed, and volume matters to them. For you, a home and small office user, if you feel like your print volume is getting higher, then please don't go for upgrading your inkjet printer, but rather add laser printer and use both the printers by sharing the volume and purpose. Use black and white laser printer to print black and white prints and keep inkjet printer for color prints and as a backup printer when you are using UPS or when laser printer needs refilling or servicing. HP1020 Plus is a great black and white laser printer to have. Small office users who need only black and white prints with medium volume can directly go for this laser printer. With black and white laser printers, the good news is you can go for compatible toner cartridges and also refill by yourself. This way, the cost per page can come down drastically, like 30 paise, 20 or even 15 paise per page. A fully filled toner can give around 2000 pages as they say, but in reality, you may get anywhere between 500 to 1000 pages depending on how much ink is covered in your prints. The original toner can cost more than at least rupees 2000, but you don't have to go with original toner. You can buy compatible toners and refill those toners for at least 5 times. Compatible toners can cost around rupees 500 and for every refill you may spend around rupees 100 if you refill it yourself. Now duty cycle. You can comfortably print more than 100 pages per day, which means up to maximum 5000 prints in a month. Maximum print you can give is maybe 500 pages in a day with at least 20 minutes break between every 100 pages because laser printers get heated up if continuously operated and it can affect the drums, rods and bearings inside the printer. So keep an eye on maintaining your printer in good condition. Also, after 500 prints, there is a chance that toner gets empty and you may have to refill. So if you are giving prints in medium high volumes, then it is better to keep another refill toner as a backup. Ideally, your print volume should be such that your every refill should last at least a week, which means printing 100 pages per day average will keep this printer in good condition. If you really want to print more than 500 pages in a day regularly, then it's better to upgrade to a MFP. that is multi-function printer, the bigger printers. But I guess your requirement is not so much at this point of time. Also, this printer doesn't have auto duplex facility, that is printing automatically on both sides. You can do manual duplex by keeping the one-sided printed page again in the paper tray. For small users, I guess there is not much requirement of duplex printing. Even then, you can easily run manual duplex for like 20 to 50 pages by rotating the pages and keeping inside the tray again. But sometimes these printers pickup roller can pick two or more pages at a time if you keep an already printed page, because an already printed page has undergone heat treatment inside the laser printer and it can get stuck with another page in the tray. So you should be careful while printing manual duplex, because this will result in mismatched series of printed pages. If you are always into duplex printing in large volumes, then again MFP is the solution for you. But let's assume that you are a user who wants to duplex print occasionally with smaller volumes which you can handle manually. Single page manual duplex printing is a piece of cake, and you need not worry as there will be no wastage of any pages, because only fully blank pages on both sides will be picked up by the roller as extras. Yes, there are medium scale laser printers which can handle medium volumes and also auto duplex facilities, photocopy facilities. You may be tempted to buy those, but I won't recommend those printers. Those are for big offices and well established companies who can invest on various machines which are peanuts in their budget, and what matters to them is only comfort and convenience. So they may not like manual, duplex printing, refilling, etc. They just buy printers which print exactly and quickly to their requirements. But I am concentrating on you, small users at home and small offices whose budget is tight and want to spend money judicially. So I won't recommend medium scale printers to you people. And if at all your print volume is increasing drastically, then better switch to higher end which can give you better efficiency and value for your investment. Medium scale printers are for those big companies who can keep on upgrading their printers, keep on calling service technicians and pay them for smooth operation of their machines. But now, the bad news is that unfortunately, HP 1020 Plus laser printer seems to be discontinued. This is the best black and white laser printer for starters, easy to maintain and easy to refill. Now HP is pushing their new model, that is HP 1020W printer, which has all useless facilities like wireless, auto refill, etc. Its cost is around rupees 16,000, which is same as HP 1020 Plus in today's price. But why it is inconvenient and why we won't recommend this printer, I will tell you and explain in future episodes. Now you may not be able to comprehend. Let's go deeper into Print Prapancha. But fortunately, there is another printer which is similar to this printer, and it is actually like a twin brother of this. This is Canon LBP2900. And another good news is that HP12A, the toner cartridge which is used in HP 1020 Plus printer, can also be used in this printer and can be refilled and used. The cost of Canon LBP2900B is around 16,000. So buy this one if you can't find HP 1020 Plus anywhere. If you are lucky and see HP 1020 Plus sold anywhere who has kept an old stock, then please go grab it soon. It is like gold. And if you already have this printer, then preserve it as a treasure and utilize it to the fullest until it's worn out completely. If you get to know any other such similarly efficient printers, we will keep you updated. Now let me tell something about my own experience with printers. When I was studying in college around 20 years back, I had bought a printer and it was an inkjet printer, a color printer. Probably laser printers were a rarity those days and perhaps were very expensive. I even don't remember the model of that printer. It was definitely Epson company, I think. I was able to print for some months, some pages, and I was very excited because I was printing on my own, whatever that I typed on the computer. But I was not that good at handling it back then. In spite of people suggesting not to buy a printer at that time, I went for it. Inkjet printer and that too cartridge based. I did not maintain it properly. Ink got dried up, the head got damaged soon after 2 3 months, and it stopped working even after servicing. Then, after a few years, I worked in an office where I had experience with both inkjet and laser printer. Inkjet printer was an high-end one, maybe with photocopy scan facility, and was again cartridge based. I remember we were changing the cartridge frequently. Don't think it was cost effective. I don't exactly remember the company and model. Maybe it was brother company. And the laser printer, I remember correctly, it was Samsung printer, some ML series. It was an old one. I'm talking some 15 years back. We used to refill its toner by third party, but it was not totally satisfactory. The quality of printing was average after refilling, though it was slightly cost effective. We were paying like Rs 300 per refill. That's why it's better to learn refilling ourselves as we will be careful and not harsh in handling delicate parts of the toner. This can make it last longer. We will make a separate episode for refilling laser toner in future. Okay, after that, when I started my own printer shop in 2008, I first bought an inkjet printer of same Epson company. It was again a cartridge based printer. Don't remember the model name, but there were four different cartridges for four colors. Cartridges were very expensive. Since I was running a commercial shop in order to maintain costing per page, I was forced to refill these cartridges using syringes and compatible ink. It was one hell of a job and it used to fail like anything. Then I switched back to buying original cartridges again. Even with original cartridges, ink used to get dried sometimes and prints used to be dull. Customers were not happy with it. Moreover, it was not giving proper yield. Used to get over, say, like after 100 or 200 prints. So I got fed up with it, and one fine day I simply threw it away, even though it was working a bit. I couldn't bear the expenses on the consumables and for the poor returns it used to give. I switched over to laser printer in 2010, maybe after 1.5 years. Guess which one? It was Canon LBP 2900B because it was extremely popular then. Cost was exactly rupees 5670. I have a log of it. Initially, I used to get refilled by third party for like rupees 200 and then started to refill myself by observing and learning from them. Of course, both myself and they were not doing it properly. I was amateur, didn't have enough knowledge back then as there were no videos in YouTube to learn from those days. And third parties were careless in refilling. So print quality used to be fluctuating. Whenever it was not bearable, I used to buy compatible toners which were like rupees 800 those days. But buying new toners without much refilling cycles used to not work for me in terms of costing. So I was always compromising between quality and expenses and trying to balance both. And I totally stopped using color printers, that is inkjet printers, for nearly 3 years. I was angry with those cartridges. I stopped color printing service completely in my shop. Then, in the beginning of 2014, I dared to buy a color printer which was Epson L110. It was a previous version of what we have now, Epson L130. This was an ink tank printer just like L130. I was convinced that ink tanks are not like cartridge based inkjet printers and they are easy to maintain and refill. The cost I don't remember exactly, maybe it was around 6000 rupees. The quality, speed, maintenance, everything was more or less same. But the mistake I made was I got tempted and started using compatible ink after 1 year to save some money again for commercial reasons and to manage the costing per page. I was happy for some days, but soon I realized that the quality of print was not satisfactory, colors were not matching and were dull. Also, the nozzles started getting damaged and prints were always skewed a bit. In between, I learned to refill the laser toner properly. Of course, it was HP 12A toner. The print quality improved, but the damage was already done to the printer because of poor maintenance, that is improper refilling. Toner is like heart of a laser printer, and so if you don't refill properly, it can damage the other components inside the printer. Hence, I used to get my printer serviced frequently, like every 3 or 6 months. It was an additional expense for me, and also I had to spend so much time visiting repair shops. Meanwhile, even my ink tank printer started giving lots of issues, and one fine day it stopped working completely. Head got totally damaged because I had used cheap ink, and there is a waste ink pad at the bottom of the printer which needs to be cleaned or replaced from time to time. This I will explain in another episode when we make a short video on Epson L130 printer maintenance. Waste ink pad also overflew and the cheaper ink which I used got spilled inside the printer, and when I took it to the printer service shop, they were unable to repair it. They asked me to dump this and buy a new one. That is the time, that is in 2018, I bought Epson L130 ink tank printer. From this point onwards, I became careful about inkjet printers and never ever used compatible ink with it, used only genuine ink, ran regular head cleaning cycles, and also changed waste ink pad once when I got alerted. Even now, by the end of 2023, nearly 6 years, it is still running and we are using it. Of course, now we have many printers in our shop, as many as 4, 2 color and 2 black and white. So the load and purpose is shared between them. At the same time, Canon LBP2900 also started giving many issues with frequent servicing, and I was fed up spending on servicing and decided to dump it and buy another laser printer in 2019. That's when we got HP1020 Plus, and I personally felt it is superior to Canon LBP2900. Maybe because I was able to handle it properly. From this time, I started refilling properly and also switched to new toner after enough refill cycles. So till today, it is working perfectly. Both these printers, Epson L130 and HP1020 Plus, I have never went for servicing these, and they are running smoothly, well within themselves, whatever is expected of them. Of course, they have got a bit older now, and I am already fully satisfied with their efficiency and life expectancy. This is what happens if you learn from your experience and mistakes. And a bigger satisfaction is when you share your experience and wisdom with someone and help them out. That's the reason why I shared my story of printers with you people. Hope it helps you in making the right decision and take right steps each time. Okay, I told in the beginning that I will also give demo of another printer. Here it is, Canon Pixma MG2570S color inkjet printer. Its cost is under Rs 4000. It has Wi-Fi and even photocopy scan facility. One will be tempted to buy this one, isn't it? It is a cartridge based inkjet printer and it has only 2 cartridges. One is black and the other one is color. Color cartridge has all 3 colors embedded. What this means is it is impossible to refill these cartridges using syringes. One of our customers has bought this printer, so we don't own it. They had some issues changing the cartridges, so we helped them out. The cost of printer is below 4000, but guess what's the cost of cartridges? It is whopping Rs 1500 plus if you buy both the cartridges, and you get hardly 100 to 300 prints with it, nearly Rs 5 per page. This is how company traps by making you buy and then make you spend on consumables. So I don't recommend this printer for anyone. Maybe if you really want to have a printer at your home and if you want to spend very little money, then maybe you can keep it and print very little, like 5 or even less pages in a day. Perhaps your personal diary or log. That's it, and make sure you print daily a little bit. Maybe you can print some photos on glossy sheets, but whatever it is, you have to print very little. Probably you can use the scanner in this to scan your documents onto the computer. That is one advantage. Wi-Fi is a useless feature and users at home would prefer to give prints from computer after verifying the print preview. Wi-Fi is probably needed at big offices and companies, as I said before, because everything is systematic there and all they need is quick accessing and processing. Also, this printer gives tough time changing the cartridges and realigning the print heads. So always go for ink tank printers and avoid cartridge-based inkjet printers. Okay, we will do some print testing on both these printers. First, we will give a black and white print on HP 1020 Plus. You will be shocked at some marks and lines on the print. Don't worry, it is due to an older toner inside it. Now we will give a black and white print on Epson L130. You see the paper is getting in very slowly compared to laser printer. The head is moving. So you realize the difference between the two printers. One is just rolling out a sheet, that is laser printer, and the other is taking its time moving its head over a sheet. That's how inkjet printers work. Even with high-end inkjet printer, it is the same way. Head should move. Speed may increase probably with bigger heads and more nozzles, but that's it. We have kept both the printouts side by side so that you get to compare. Now we will correct the mistake in laser printer. We will unbox a new toner. This is a compatible toner for HP 1020 Plus or Canon LBP 2900. The toner model you should always remember is HP12A. Don't confuse with toner model and printer model. It is Foxin company compatible toner. It is currently the efficient and cost-effective toner available in the market, and you can purchase online without hesitation. These companies keep changing sometimes, and if you ask us anytime in future which is the best happening toner, we will reply and update you at that point of time. But for now, you can use this one. As we told you before, we will make a separate video about how to refill this toner in detail. It is neatly packed. Let's remove everything and get the toner out. Before inserting it to the printer, let's check. It's absolutely new. You should check the drum, the green cylindrical thing over there. That's the most important component in a toner. Okay, the toner is fine. Let's use it. No need to return it. Let's remove all these safety locks and tape and then insert into the printer. We are now replacing the toner with new one. Now we will give print with new toner and let's see. Here is the printout. It is neat and crisp. Let's compare it with the one which we gave with old toner, which was refilled for like 8 times. We can see those dots and lines. It is due to the damage to drum blade and other rollers inside the toner. We will explain about these things when we make video on toner refilling. Now we will just look at the difference in print quality. If your printer is printing neatly with new toner, then it's working fine. So I am happy with my 5 years old laser printer. And that third page is the one which we gave with inkjet printer. Now I will reveal one more thing. Actually, I have set my inkjet printer's quality at maximum level. Now I will keep it to standard level, which is bit lower level. By changing these levels, we are actually compromising speed with quality and vice versa. These things I will explain when we do a short video on Epson L130 maintenance. Now you are seeing that the printer is lot quicker, the head is moving faster, but the problem is the head and nozzles are unable to print all the matter and we have lost some print. This printer is now 6 years old, hence you need to make these adjustments and go easy with it. As I said, inkjet printers will work fine for 2 to 3 years at least if you maintain it properly with original ink. During those initial years, you can definitely print in standard mode at quicker speed. I will explain more about this when I conclude this video. You can see the difference when we give it in slow mode. Of course, this much variation happens only gradually over the years as we keep printing more and more and head getting worn out. We are running a commercial shop, so we print a lot. For home users, it may take a lot more time to arrive at this point. Enough of quality test, now we will do some speed testing. Let's print 10 pages with both these printers. We will keep a stopwatch. I will first give the command to inkjet printer. Poor chap, it is slow, so let's give some advantage to it. So I gave 10 pages print with both the printers. Let's check the speed. Both have started their job. The laser printer has already rolled out one page while inkjet is still halfway through. We can clearly see the difference in speed. Of course, if we keep inkjet speed in standard mode, it can be a bit more quicker. But definitely it can't match the speed of laser printer. Let's not be too serious with the stopwatch. We are not trying to find out accurate results here. We are just making some comparison. Approximately at around 1 minute mark, HP1020 Plus has finished printing 10 pages, but actually its speed is 14 or 15 pages per minute, so we probably missed some seconds while giving commands. One thing is sure, a laser printer will never lose its speed throughout its life, only quality can come down a bit. Even that can be restored by changing the components. Epson is still printing, but its rated speed is 27 ppm, that is pages per minute, for text black and white print, which is almost twice that of HP1020 Plus. Probably it may run at that speed for this kind of text print. We are giving here a simple black and white text in standard mode. Actually, inkjet printer speed changes based on content in the print. The more the content, the more time it takes. The lesser the content, that is lesser lines to print, it will take lesser time. One should give this high setting on inkjet printer only when a HD color print is given on a glossy sheet. But we are unfortunately using this kind of setting for printing a simple text. Thankfully, we have enough printers to print in quick times, so we will bear this printer speed as we use it for specific purpose and during specific times. Okay, it is around 3 minutes now and it seems to have printed 10 pages completely now. Let's keep both the printouts side by side. Left one is laser print and to the right is inkjet print. We are now zooming and looking at the print accuracy. We can make out that texts are much sharper in laser prints while inkjets are slightly distorted. But that's manageable for home purpose. That's why professionals for printing any kind of reports will always go with laser printer. Now we will try printing images. First with HP printer. We will give just a quarter page image. Let's not waste too much ink for this testing. That's the image print on laser printer. It is neat and clear. Now let's try it with Epson in the same way, but we will give color print since it is a color printer. For images, inkjet printers take a longer time to print compared to texts because there's too denser information that it has to cover. For color printing, the speed rating of this printer is 15 pages per minute, which is almost half. And for black and white image printing, it is 8.5 images per minute, and color image printing, it is 4.5 images per minute. So the speed varies like this depending on how and what you print. Now that we are printing color image on a normal sheet, let's see how it prints. You can compare both the prints. Laser looks neat and clear while inkjet looks a bit streaky. But this is not the end of story. Also mind it, you are getting color print with inkjet printer while laser is giving only black and white. Color print has its own value. Okay, now we will extend this test to another level. We will print color image on a glossy sheet and of course with Epson printer. This is an 130 GSM glossy sheet. We will give a full page image this time. It won't go wasted as I am printing our company banner and we will use it somewhere. And you need to change the setting a bit. Paper setting to premium glossy. This way the print quality will improve as the head takes its time to print neatly. This is something which you should always do with inkjet printers when you are printing on different media. Epson L130 can handle up to 170 GSM papers. GSM means paper thickness. We will discuss about this parameter in one of our future episodes when we introduce MFPs. But I don't think this printer can handle more than 170 GSM. Once I tried it with 200 GSM, but it didn't pick up the paper. But with HP 1020 printing on glossy sheet, you cannot do that. Glossy sheets cannot absorb dry ink from this printer. All lower end laser printers can't pick up papers more than 100 GSM. The maximum that HP 1020 Plus can handle is a 100 GSM A4 bond sheet. Okay, we will now concentrate on Epson printer printing on glossy sheet. Now you can see the difference in quality. Of course, I have set timer for this also. Now see how the head is handling the map which has gradients and depth in colors. You can see how different colors like yellow, blue are mixing up to give green color, printing the trees there. This is how color mixing happens. And well, that's the glossy print which we have from Epson printer. I think it took around 2 minutes to print this page, but forget the time and look at the stunning quality with this 6 years old printer. Slow and steady wins the race. Appears apt now. You won't get this kind of quality even with my high-end Konica Minolta C258 color digital laser printer. And that's why we are still using this printer because it is unique and it has its own application. So any print express will definitely have a good inkjet printer also with them. No matter whatever revolution happens with laser printer, but it can never beat the quality of image printing in inkjet printer because it is based on wet or dye ink. It is like painting using pencils or wax crayons versus using water or oil brushes. Artists know it better. Pencils are good for writing scripts, while brushes are the best for drawing. This is some kind of analogy I am making here. We may upgrade to another higher end inkjet printer in coming years as we are a growing commercial printer shop, as we are planning to get into bulk ID cards and sublimation printing, that is printing and transforming to other media like textiles, badges, cups, etc. We will definitely make a video whenever we add any new machine to our shop. Also, we will make videos which can help budding, self-employed, small printer shops who want to grow up in their business. Now we will bring Canon Pixma MG2570S also into the mix. Let's give a black and white print. It's a brand new printer. It's first time they are changing the cartridge, so it's printing in standard normal mode and it's quicker. But as I said, it's not about speed or quality when it comes to this printer. It is about costing, which is important than anything else. Now we will give similar color print on this. It's a bit slower now compared to time it took to print text, and the quality is definitely decent. Hence you can make your own choice with this printer. Now just observe the mechanism of both these printers. Usually laser printer takes pages from the bottom and gives the printout at the top because it has a rolling mechanism. And another thing you should understand, it rolls at the same speed whether it's printing text or image, lesser matter or even a blank page, it will be the same speed. So the paper will be picked up through the feeder, gets processed by the toner, gets heat and pressure treatment behind the toner, and then rolls back to the top on the output tray. Now in the inkjet printer it is opposite. The paper feeder is at the top facing downwards. Paper gets picked up from the top, head starts printing as the paper moves downwards, and after printing it will rest in the output tray which is at the bottom. This will be helpful when you place a pre-printed letterhead into the paper feeder of both these printers and how the orientation has to be. And that's how you place the papers in the input trays of both these printers. It can hold 150 and 75 sheets respectively. A4 is the maximum limit. You can keep A4 or lesser size sheets into the input tray and adjust it. Now to conclude things, as per my guidance, if you are using inkjet for 2 to 3 years and if your print volume is increasing, then you should ideally include a laser printer at that point, as inkjet printer starts to lose its quality and speed. Now you can start giving more load to laser printer and keep inkjet printer for printing color and as backup during power failures or when laser printer needs servicing or refilling. If your print volume increases even further, then you can go for MFPs, but still you can retain the older printers. They have their own purpose. We still use these two printers even though we have big MFPs with us. We use HP printer for giving quick printouts after typing 1 or 2 pages or submitting an application, after which you need to take few pages of print, or when printing quickly over a pre-printed letterhead. We can't always walk up to MFPs for these things. We use Epson printer for printing on glossy sheets, as you saw, or during low power emergencies. We use MFPs only while giving large volume prints like more than 20 or 50 pages at a time, duplex printing, and for printing on bigger size papers like A3 and also higher GSM thickness boards. Otherwise, we keep them off to save power as they consume lots of power. Hope now you are getting a grip of all these things and how it works in print prapancha. We will explore more in future. For quick reference of price, speed, capacity and other parameters of these two printers, please look in description. A huge thanks if you watched this video fully and got benefited from it. If you liked it, please hit all the buttons like, share and subscribe. And also put your valuable comments or even queries. We will definitely respond. We are striving hard to improve both content and quality in our videos. We need your help as we are just starting to grow. Stay tuned for future videos.